Oh, that coffee's good. How are you guys doing? Coach Andrew here, downstairs in the home office, getting ready to show you guys something really powerful. If you're an entrepreneur, more specifically, if you are an entrepreneur who is the only person in your business, a solopreneur, or even someone who outsources a little bit of your labor or work, maybe you have some virtual assistants, maybe you have some employees, that's okay. This is still for you. I want to speak to those of you who are struggling to find a coherent workflow. So I've talked before in some of my other videos about income producing activities, key performance indicators, and scheduling tools like block scheduling. If you haven't seen those videos, check out my YouTube channel. There's a link on my Facebook profile. There's a link in my Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're already there. Just click on my name. You can find those videos. There's a whole playlist, actually, business coaching, online business coaching playlist with tons of stuff like this. I mean, you guys, this is literally content right out of my course, my coaching conversion blueprint. I put these videos together so that even people who don't want to buy a course, who don't want to buy coaching, who are just looking for some help can get this information. That's why I do this. I mean, the course organizes it all, puts it all in one place, gives you a workbook. You know, it's worth it. But if you need more help with this kind of stuff, go check out the YouTube channel, for God's sake. But I want to talk today about the way you should be looking at yourself within your business. And if you have your income producing activities and you track your KPIs and you know what you need to be focusing on, but you still find yourself struggling with either procrastination or you find yourself lacking clarity in identifying which steps you should be taking, this might be the overview that you need. And what I'm going to share with you is something I actually learned from Ray Dalio in his amazing book, Principles. I highly recommend you go read that book if you haven't. It's for business and for life. All of his principles put into one. It's a fantastic book. But the name of this concept, I had to pull up the outline because I can't remember. But the name of this principle is right here. It is higher level thinking. And higher level thinking essentially means you are looking at yourself from a third person perspective, right? A typical entrepreneur, especially a new entrepreneur, is going to live in an emotionally based reality where they are constantly present within themselves and they're viewing themselves as the worker. So you're constantly trying to figure out what you need to do, what direction you should be going, what your tasks are. And you're also trying to be the person who takes those orders and does the tasks and moves things forward. And as you can imagine, it is hard to be the manager and the employee at the same time. In fact, it's kind of impossible. It doesn't really make sense. Typically, that is two separate people. But you can fix this, right? You can fix it by stepping outside of yourself and delegating these roles to different parts of yourself. So the idea here with this principle, with higher level thinking, is to essentially take a moment every now and then to step outside of your business and say, okay, I am the manager. I am the CEO. I am in charge of this business, and I have to create the rules and diagnose the problems and direct my workers in executing the solutions to these problems, right? In adhering to these rules. And you have to do that as an owner, as an operator, as a CEO, right? A manager. So you step outside of yourself and you look at yourself. So I would say, okay, I'm higher level Andrew right now, CEO Andrew. I run this business. There is also worker Andrew, right? And worker Andrew is the one who sits down every day and works on the coaching conversion blueprint, types up the lessons, films the YouTube videos, edits the videos, right? Does the coaching calls with the clients, creates the content, writes the articles, sends the emails. He does all of that stuff, right? But higher level CEO Andrew has to look at worker Andrew critically and think, okay, what is he actually good at and what is he not good at? Because right now I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this and tell me what the difference is between you as a worker in your business and an employee. If you were to hire an employee for your online business, whether it's coaching, consulting, whatever it is you do, if you were to hire an employee, would you hire an employee for sales who's really bad at sales? Would you hire a web designer to take your sales calls? Or would you hire a salesperson to design your funnels? No, you wouldn't. That doesn't make sense. And you should not be treating yourself any differently. You see, entrepreneurs have this neuropathy, right? And it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault when I used to think this way. But we think that somehow we're supposed to be good at everything, right? And maybe some of us who are growth oriented think, well, even if I'm not good at something, I need to get good at it, right? I need to get good at sales. I need to get good at building funnels. I need to get good at doing this. And what that ends up doing is delaying our growth. It delays the growth of our company. It delays the results that our clients get. It delays and inhibits our ability to actually reach out and find clients and make sales and change lives. Because we're busy trying to be the manager and the employee at the same time. So what's the fix to this, you might be asking? And well, that's a great question. Let me show you, right? So here you are, right? This is you. This is your higher level self, okay? This is your higher level manager self. And what you need to do is look down at your employee self, okay? Your higher level self needs to take a hard, critical look at your employee self. And this can take practice. So you need to be patient with yourself the first time you do this. But I need you to step back and look at the work that needs to be done within your business, right? Identify the income producing activities, identify the key performance indicators, and create steps that are going to help you accomplish your most immediate goals and your medium range goals and your long range goals, and figure out what that looks like. If you don't know how to do that, message me, right? We'll get on the phone, we'll talk about it. I can walk you through the process of finding the next steps that make sense in your business that are actually going to move you forward. But if you have the ability to do that, that's good. Identify what those tasks are. Right? So employee self needs to do this, he needs to do this, he needs to do this, and he needs to do this, right? He needs to maybe, we'll say, he needs to take phone calls, he needs to run some Facebook ads, he needs to work on the website, and he needs to file the taxes, right? So here are some examples. These are things that you probably will need to do at one point or another within your business. And if you're the only employee, if you're the only person in your business, it's up to you to do these things. Now you need to ask yourself, which of these things am I actually really good at, right? Maybe you are totally capable of filing your taxes. If you have a small business, if you're not making a ton of money and you have limited number of revenue streams, it's easy to file your taxes, right? So you can handle that. Maybe you're also proficient with WordPress or ClickFunnels or whatever you're using for your website, so you can actually work on your website and get that done in a reasonable amount of time. But maybe you don't know anything about running Facebook ads, right? Maybe you don't know how to use Facebook Ad Manager. Maybe you don't know how to write copy. And maybe you kind of struggle with sales, right? So that's a squiggly line. It means so-so, right? You're okay taking phone calls, but you know that like you need to get better at sales. Maybe you struggle with closing. Maybe you still have some money problems in your mind. So, that could be improved, but you can do it, right? This is what higher level thinking looks like right here. Looking at the tasks in front of you that need to get done within your business and asking yourself, can I do this? It's the most basic question that a lot of new entrepreneurs are just, if they're not afraid to ask it, they're afraid to answer. But how we get around this and how we actually make something useful out of this is we identify what the solutions are for these individual tasks. How do we make a decision, and how do we tell employee Andrew what to do and what not to do? Well, here are our options. The first option is simply denial. You can deny that you're bad at certain things. You can deny that you need to work on certain things, and you can deny that there are more sensible choices that you could make, and you could continue to run the business the way you've been running it. And if denial has been working for you so far, then you're good to go. Keep it up. Most people, though, realize that there are serious problems happening with the execution of the tasks within their business, and they realize that something needs to change. And so your next option is going to be pursuing improvement within your weaknesses, right? So this is not always the most effective option, but for some people who have time and resources and willpower, this is a very valid response for certain tasks. For example, We have our phone calls here, right? We've done sales calls before. We've made sales. We're not the best closer in the world, but we could definitely improve. We could definitely get better. Maybe we have some books. We have some mentors. We have things that can help us improve. So we could do it. We could choose option 2 here, and we could just choose to keep learning and keep getting better. And eventually we'll be good enough to be doing all of the sales calls within our business, because we know that as long as we keep trying and we keep practicing and we have a growth mindset, we can pull it off, right? So that's your second option. Your third option is outsourcing, right? And for some people, this is really, really scary. They get really nervous about outsourcing, and I get it, all right? I was nervous when I outsourced stuff at first too, but I'm here to tell you it's okay. It's like anything else in life, right? Whether it's weightlifting or eating healthy or taking sales calls. Like, the more you do, the easier it gets, right? And you just kind of have to start somewhere in order to start improving. And if you need to outsource something, for example, Facebook ads, right? If you know nothing about Ads Manager, my friend, you don't know what's coming. And unless you have lots of time and lots of willpower to master this thing, you should outsource it, or you should at the very least hire a coach, a mentor, buy a course, watch a ton of tutorials on YouTube, do something, right, that utilizes the skills and the information and the knowledge and the technique and maybe even the labor of another person to supplement your efforts, right? Because if you can't run Facebook ads, if you try and you still suck, then that needs to be outsourced, okay? You need to find someone else to handle that step for you, because higher level Andrew is gonna look at employee Andrew and say he's not good at ads. He's okay at phone calls, he's great on websites, he's great at bookkeeping, but he can't do ads, and that's okay. Because no one in any business, whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee, can do everything. That's inhuman. Nobody can. And there's gonna be things in your business that, after watching this video, hopefully you're going to realize you were in denial about, right? For the longest time, I was in denial about certain things in my business. I thought I was okay at it, or I thought maybe, like, as long as I keep trying, I'll get better. But the truth is I wasn't improving, and I needed to outsource it, right? So this is sometimes a difficult decision, but it's important. And your last option here is to either work around that specific task and just avoid it altogether, or change the end goal, change the actual objective. So in this example here, we're running Facebook ads, we're taking sales calls, we have a website, and we need to file taxes. Looks like we're an online coach trying to make money. If our goal is to schedule phone calls so that we can sign on clients, Facebook ads are a great way to do that. They really are, but they're not the only way. And if you're petrified of outsourcing, if you're unable to outsource, and if there's no way in hell you're ever going to learn how to use Facebook Ads Manager, work around it. Start with organic marketing, right? Start a YouTube channel. Learn how to optimize a YouTube channel. If creating tags and filming and editing YouTube videos is easier than Facebook Ads Manager and you can do it, then do that instead. Work around the difficult task that's causing the roadblock, right? Some people stay stuck in the same place with their business for weeks, months, sometimes years, because they're just in denial. They're unaware that they have options other than just sitting there and struggling. You have other options. You can change your end goal, which will change the types of tasks that are in front of you, right? You can work around the task and try to find a different way to do the same thing. You can outsource the task, or you can be smart and buy some books, buy some courses, hire a coach, watch tutorials, and just try to improve your skills with the task that is giving you trouble. But this is what you need to be doing as a higher level entrepreneur, a CEO. You have to be the manager, the operator, right? That this whole shindig is yours. And you have to have higher level vision to actually look down at your business and see what's happening. It is a chessboard. And yes, you are also the pawns on the chessboard, but you're also the player who's playing the game. Don't try to do both at the same time, but step outside of yourself and take time to be a manager and take time to be an employee. When you're a manager, make managerial decisions. And when you're an employee, work your ass off. That's really all there is to it. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope that some of you watched this and thought to themselves like, oh, okay, I should do this. Because that's what I want. I want you guys to take this information and use it and actually find a way to improve your business, because this kind of stuff is really frustrating when it takes months and years to figure out on your own. And there's no reason that you should be murdering yourself trying to be an employee and an entrepreneur and a CEO and a salesperson and an accountant and a web designer all at the same time. It's a mess. No one wants to do that. So just remember, when you're struggling, step outside of your business, be an owner, and delegate things to yourself. And when you're done doing that and you have the battle plan in place and you've made those decisions, go back into your role as an employee and dutifully execute what the owner told you to do. And then before you know it, you'll have enough revenue to outsource stuff, you can grow, and you can actually move things to the next stage, if that's your goal. That's not everyone's goal. Well, that's it for today. I need to go work out, so we will talk soon. If you enjoyed this, I encourage you to check out the YouTube channel if you're not already there. If you are, I appreciate you watching. Every single one of you who subscribes will not be disappointed. You'll get daily, usually daily content about self-improvement regarding fitness, entrepreneurship, relationships, business mindset, you name it. It's all here. I love you guys. We will talk soon.